Alright, y'all, welcome back to another daily outlook. We'll be doing an outlook today. I didn't do one yesterday in the Discord. I wasn't really looking due to the fact that it was a US bank holiday. The only pair that I was possibly thinking of taking a trade on was GJ. I was looking for a hit here, as you can see. Didn't come, but regardless, let's hop back out. Higher time frames here. On the euro to US dollar. Where are we? We're here. Okay. So, anyways, as you can see, we ended up getting that huge push down. We've just broken lows. Even on the daily, we got a bit of a reaction from these lows. Post closing below. Anyways, moving into my outlook today. Regardless of, like you can see, we pushed up, hit this little bump in the road. On the hourly, it looks a lot cleaner. So moving into the hourly, you can see we swept these highs. Well, first off, moving into this 4-hour supply zone. This is going to be my target from where I'm likely going to be selling from. Refine it down maybe into an hourly. But regardless, you can see, come down, clean break of structure, leave a little bit of inducement. This is not so much inducement or liquidity, it's just a bump in the road for orders to collect. As you can see, orders collected, used it as a bit of resistance and left more liquidity for us to sweep before coming into our position. So what I will be looking for, sorry, give me just a second. Obviously what I'll be looking for is maybe potentially a break below here. And from there, I may adjust because we have a new bump in the road here at these highs up into this hourly supply here. This could be also a potential position we're going to take. But honestly, the more likely version is I'll be looking for shorts here. So let's get the brush out. What I'm looking for is potentially push down here, give us a nice break, turn the magnet off, sorry. Give us a break showing like external bearish structure before we slowly come up, take out this little bump in the road, price moving once again, and now we've got all of these orders for us to take. So it'll come up, hit here. Honestly, if it comes up to here, which I'm thinking today, potentially later in the week, hopefully not just due to the news that we have this week, but regardless, coming up into this zone, we've got plenty of orders to sweep before tapping us in. I will likely take a position that looks like this. Here on the hourly, just here, take a position as such, target the lows, and it's a really nice trade. Hopping into the higher time frame though, we could use this as the bump in the road. Let me remove this, sorry. This could potentially be our new bump in the road here. Magnet's not on. So this supply zone on the higher time frame could potentially be used as a bump in the road and run through. But we have a 4-hour supply right here, which is what this bump in the road could be used for. Instead of using these orders to fill into this 4-hour supply, refine down into an hourly that we have there, we'll instead push, break these highs, move through this zone, hopefully get a reaction if we do have price action like this. Sorry, let me just remove these drawings so it doesn't get too confusing. If we do get a push up as such, then what I will be looking for is more confirmation rather than taking a limit order. So say we come up, sweep these highs, want to tap into the zone, give a little reaction, but then we end up pushing through to take out this little bump in the road, and we come up into here. I'll then be looking for a retracement down, break a low, in hopes to form a supply zone here. We can take a short from back down towards our draw. So, by the way, if I sound off, I am feeling sick as fuck, low key. Anyways, into GBP USD, honestly, same sort of thing as Euro. We've been really on point calling this downward move. We've caught a few very nice shorts. Once again, on the daily, we have broken here, given a little reaction where we've come back down. Obviously, we've got this daily supply zone up here, which I will now be targeting only due to the fact that, for example, from this whole impulsive as fuck move that we've had. Sorry. From this whole impulsive move, you can see it is nearly in the, oh wait, it's quite up high within the discounted range. So from the top, obviously we've come down, impulse, retraced, impulse, right? Impulse sell off. Now we're going to come up, get this little retracement like we had previous, up into a nice and clean 4-hour supply after it swept the bump in the road. That is what we are hoping for now also. So when we come up, we could we have just hit this 4-hour supply, reacted off of it. We've got this as well, but there is just plenty of liquidity for the market to grab. All of these ascending highs, descending highs, I should say. And now we've got ascending highs to start taking out, which means I essentially want price to come up. Obviously, we're going to see how it reacts off of these zones, because if we get nice reaction, we could catch a little scalp for the day. But in the, how do I say this? I'm going to take a pause. In hindsight, and looking into the future for a longer term, more probable move, honestly, I think we take out these orders. Coming up into this 4-hour supply, I don't know why I'm drawing price that goes backwards. Coming up into this 4-hour supply zone here, giving a reaction, hopefully a break, where we'll leave, once again, a nice supply zone for us to take our trade off of, and then we start trading down to the bottom. And when I mean bottom, I mean I'm going to be targeting low as fuck. I want these lows to be taken. These equal lows, equal NFP lows that I've been waiting for so long, that is what I hope to be taking out. I won't be looking necessarily at this zone here. Yes, it gave a reaction, but regardless, I'm looking for price to move into a discount before we start selling. Equilibrium. It's quite simple. But regardless, I think in the longer term and trying to catch a larger move rather than a little scalp, I do believe we come up, sweep these little bumps, whatever you want to call it, descending highs, for price to collect as many orders as possible before we start moving down. That is most likely the higher probable move. And what I'll be looking for, similar to Euro USD. Euro, we're looking for shorts a little earlier on. Obviously, we're looking from around here to take shorts from, or here. Once we sweep these, I have hopes that, honestly, we take these trade today. Like, yeah, it's got a bit of work to do, but regardless, price has come down, left all of these orders here. You can see it's wicks. It's perfect. It's beautiful for us to take. It is just wicks. So we're going to come back up. Obviously, see what price does. Likely come up, slow, clean market structure, take out the first little bump in the road. See how we react off of this supply zone here. Move through, collect orders, as it did with this, but instead of collecting orders, leaving wicks here, it'll leave wicks at our entry and move down. Otherwise, like I said, moving higher time frame, we're going to be looking for this type of zone, collect these highs as well as these highs. But regardless, it's very, very probable that we react from a zone as such. Moving into gold is the same thing. It's just moving higher and higher. Yes, you could stay looking for longs. However, I do want some sort of liquidity to be swept. For example, this gets swept, move into a nice hourly demand zone, maybe even sweep. Like, I feel like these orders are really not enough, so we could potentially sweep this, sweep these, and come down a little bit further. Well, as you can see here, that's what I was hoping for here. I was hoping we could take these before taking longs. I did have this position set up. It didn't work out. As you can see, it did not tap us in. But regardless, all gold is doing at the moment It's pushing past all-time highs. Come down, collect liquidity, look for those continuation longs. It's really, really simple. Not difficult at all. Other pairs, USD JPY. Yes, you could be looking for sells from a zone like this, as we have a nice amount of inducement here. However, we've just swept all of this liquidity and started to turn bullish, which means you would likely start to follow the trend of us turning back to bullish. GBP JBY, like I said, probably going to start looking bullish after sweeping out these lows here. And what's it called? Sweeping out these lows here, breaking highs, and starting to look for following the trend, going bullish. That's my outlook for today. So, well, this week as well, I guess. Euro and GU we're looking for those higher time frame shorts from around up here, depending what price action can give us. Euro, we're looking for shorts. This is a lot cleaner, looking for shorts from around this area on the hourly. Or, once again, moving to the higher time frame, looking further into the future, we could potentially come up here into this 4-hour supply that is in control before eventually getting our move down. At the end of the day, all we have to do is wait to see what price can actually give us. However, shorting Euro USD GBP for probably this week. I think I'm going to be selling them, hopefully, sometime this week. And that's the outlook. I will give another video tomorrow, hopefully a trade recap tomorrow, depending if Euros come up and tapped us in or not. But yeah, that's what we're hoping for.